All right,
Bam.
buddy. Welcome to Grue, and thank you so much for taking time and coming back on the show. And like we were talking about, like we interviewed a while back. It was through my site, and it was just like a written interview. And now we're here, video, face to face. So I appreciate you coming back.
Of course. This is amazing. We knew before. It was like, we recognize each other, but it's just been years and you've grown and everything is great. So yes, nice to put a face to the name.
Right? Exactly. Yes. So, I'm just gonna start out with typical question is like, what drew you to want to act? Like, when did your passion start for it?
Great question. For me, it was at 10 years old. I can remember the exact moment. I did like a theater camp, like a summer camp, week-long thing. And I gotta get tested for some narcissistic tendencies because as soon as somebody claps when I got on stage, I was like, "What was that? Did you just clap? Yo, that was tight. I want to do that. This is great." And so it started there, and then as I got into it, obviously I was like, "No, no, no. This is like I love this art form. I love working with other actors on stage. I just it's so magnetic." So from stage, it went on to film. Film was even more like intimate and like we're on camera, so we just really get to act as natural as possible in most cases. Which and it's bigger, right? There's stunts, there's a budget, there's microphones, there's close, so there's so many cool things to do with film. So that's where I started, and I love it. It's never changed. I've never had once been like, oh, this is okay. It's like no, no, no. This is like what I this is what I want to do forever. This is it. This is it. So yeah, it's definitely tested true. It's my passion.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you're probably sitting there saying, "Do I want to work in an office? Do I want to work at Burger King, or do I want to work in film?" Oh yeah,
I
film's
think, and
definitely gonna win.
yeah, and I think every artist, everybody has to go through that. I'm sure you've been through that where you're
Oh
like,
yeah,
okay, do I
definitely.
see myself doing this? Do I see myself working in a restaurant? Do I see myself working in an office? And once you go through that, you're like, no, I don't. I see myself here in my Chucky room interviewing people. I see myself doing this only, right? Then like that's I'm in, and that's it. So I absolutely that's you got to go through that process.
Yeah, yeah, you have to have your quiet time sitting next to Chucky and think about what's coming.
The meditation, yeah, absolutely.
And, I saw like some of your first work, like some of your stuff you worked in soaps, and from what I saw with the soaps, I actually interviewed like a couple guys that were in soaps, and from what I heard, like the it's like very hard because you get thrown like script after script, line after line, and it just goes on and on and on for like a whole week or like more. So how was your experience like doing soaps?
Great question, and that's exactly right. It is nonstop. It is so much dialogue, and it's a great experience for actors because it's almost like a day job. Like you literally go and like
Mhm.
you clock in, you get
Wait,
there, you
really?
sign in. Yeah, you like sign in. I was in at this time.
Oh,
You go to your dressing room, and they've delivered a script to you like a month before you get to set, and the script is set. There's no changes. There's nothing. So my spoiled movie TV ass rolls in, and I'm like, so do we have pages? Like, what, And they're like, we gave you the script a month ago. You don't have that? And I was like, quickly, like wheels. No, 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 I got it. No, no, no. I need to use the restroom. Ran down to my dressing room, got my scripts, ran back upstairs, and was like, okay, this is it. This is serious. This is not, we're going to wait for the star to show up 40 minutes late. It's like, if you're not here, we're going to cut the scene. So let's roll. Like, it was so great. And so shot it. It was like the most money I've made in 20 minutes. Let's put it that way. Like you shoot so fast and you get one take and it's like there were nobody messed up. Okay, let's roll. Like it is so like if you're not on your game,
yeah.
you're not going to do well. That's it. So it's like boot camp for actors. So I
Oh my
highly
God.
recommend like get on a soap that you get knocked down a peg or two and you roll. You go and you shoot. It's a cool experience for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I I was shocked when I found out what goes into making a soap. Like I said, I had a couple guys from soaps and someone from Guiding Light too. I don't know if you ever heard of that soap.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
And yeah, like when I found out like what goes into making a soap, like I was completely blown away, and and I have so much respect for like the stars that are in the soaps, because like if you're flicking through channels and the soap is on and you happen to watch it, you're like, oh my god, I could tell what's gonna happen. Like this is the same stuff like over and over, but then you don't
Right.
realize like how hard it is.
It is. And there's such an institution, right? Like we were just on strike for like 6 months, but
Yeah.
you could still do soaps. That was part of the SAG deal. So like there's so like you said, there's so much that goes in there, like, oh, we're not touching that. We're not touching the soaps. You guys keep going, you're good. Like it was such an institution. But two, they take it so seriously on
Yeah.
the soaps. And I say this respectfully, if you show up and you make fun of them at all, like not even intentionally, you're just like rolling your eyes as you're delivering the line of, the doctor's not really dead. If there's any
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sarcasm and they're like, all right, get out. Like they have no time for you to
Oh
judge
my
them. They're like,
god.
we're making TV here. We've been doing it for 40 years. You want in? You want out? Like they are
Right?
so,
Yes.
and you're just like, hey, yeah, I'm either hop on the train or hop off. Like they're serious. I really so much respect for those actors and the crew and the writers and people who work on soaps, man. It's a machine. It's awesome.
Oh my
Awesome.
god. And so I have to ask, like, you were in the first film of the film series of Sharknado. So was it fun, like actually being on the set and dying from a shark and
it, man, this is a great question, man. So in the first Sharknado, we didn't know what we had,
yeah.
right? It was just a movie that when you showed up on set, you were like, do we have enough budget to get through the day? I don't know. Like it was such a fun, I'm gonna call it like fun, like loosey goosey thing. And all the actors were just having fun with it, right?
Oh yeah.
Funny story about my death. So I get killed, right? I get hit by a shark and I get impaled on a spike on the front of a Humvee. So that wasn't in the script because my death wasn't in the script.
Oh
Like
really?
literally, I'm reading the script, and 1 minute my character's there, and the next minute, for the rest of the script, I'm not there. And I was like,
Oh.
okay, well, so I go up to the director, Anthony C. Ferrante, who directed. Did he direct all of them, or he's really fun director, really great guy. And I go up to him and I go, hey, just a question. I know I'm just like a day player here, but do you know how I die? Like, or am I, what do I, and true to word, he goes, oh yeah, I got to figure out how to kill you. Yeah, that was it. So he came up with that death on the spot. He's like, you know what? I
Oh,
got it. Come over here. Here's the spike. Stunt team on set, like strap this like Ninja Turtle back brace on me and like shove me up against the machine. And that was it. Like it was, and then we shot it and it was like, great, done. Let's wrap. I was like, okay, yeah, we did it. It's great. So after that, whole thing took off. It was so great watching them make 2 and 3 and 4. And
yes,
they
yes.
they invited me to the red carpet release of like was it the fifth one? And they
Okay,
were
oh,
like,
really?
yeah, they were like, you got to come, man. Like you were part of the first one. You
Well,
have to
yeah.
come. And dude, by the time I got, it was like red carpet, packed house, like
Oh
people
my
worship
god.
Sharknado. Yeah, it was so like huge. It was so funny. Yeah.
Wow. That's really awesome. Like
Yeah.
when you're first filming that, you probably never thought it would catch on that as much as it did, because the film caught on so well with the fan. The fans loved it, and that's why they made film after film after film. And then you had like stars like Tara Reid and the what's his nine Steve from 90210.
Uh, yes, Ian Ziering is his name.
Yes, him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And funny story about him. I heard this may not be true, so I apologize if it's not. I heard he took the movie because he had to meet his SAG health insurance. There's like a certain amount that you have to get to meet your health insurance standard within SAG, and he was like, "I got to meet it, so let's take this movie." And it like blew up,
And it became a
drove
hit.
like
Yeah.
became a hit. Yeah, it was so fun. And I remember watching it. Like it premiered on the Sci-Fi Channel, and my family and I watched it because we're like, "Oh, that was great! Yeah, great job, man! Yeah, cool." And then all of a sudden it was like the numbers were coming in. My phone was
Yeah.
blowing up. Like, did you
Yeah.
see how many people tuned in? And I was like, oh my God. So then they aired it again with like best tweets about it. Right. So it was like we
Nice.
watched the movie and up on
Nice.
the screen would pop up the like sarcastic tweets about Sharknado. So everybody was in on the joke. That's like, say what you want, man. You say what you want. I got to be a part of a screening at the was it the Comedy Cellar in is
Oh
that
my
in LA? The
God.
Comedy Cellar where we watched it, and during the movie, you got to shout out all the things that you didn't like about it. You know, like that's not what Van Nuys is in California. That's like whatever, and it was so much fun. We've had so much fun with Sharknado. Like we thank the best fan. We thank the fans for getting it. Thank you for getting
Yeah.
it. Thank you
Yeah.
for having fun with us. You know, so
You, you know, one of the things you should have shouted out, you shouldn't have killed me off. I could have been in more.
well, I wanted to like soap opera revive. I come back. I mean, it wasn't the end of me. It's all
Exactly.
good.
And another one of my favorite horror show, well, like of course you could tell I'm a big horror fan, talking about Sharknado, and then I got Chucky. I mean, if I have Chucky sitting here, you know I'm a horror fan.
Absolutely.
So
I
I
love it.
have to I have to ask about again one of your early shows. Like you booked a roles, Will, on the TV series of Scream, and were you a fan of the movies before you did the TV show? Like, did you have to research like the Ghostface killer and all that stuff? And
Yeah, the great question. I am not was not the biggest fan of horror at the time. Let's put it that way. And so when I auditioned, I was like, "Oh, it's a horror series. Like it's not my game, but it's a really nice character. I love it. Boom. I book it and I'm like, oh my God. And my family and friends are like, dude, you book Scream, like Scream. And I had to be like, I'm so embarrassed. Like, what is that? And they were like, are you serious? Like, are you? So my friends sat me down, made me
what is
watch
that?
the first original movie. Yeah, I know. I know. And let me tell, I can say that because I said that in an interview with Bob Weinstein, who was the producer of the show. I know
Yeah,
Weinsteins are no longer in Hollywood, which is
yeah.
a good thing. But at the time, in front of my producer, I had to say, I'd never seen Scream. And dude came up behind me, and excuse my language, but we were at the after party, and he was like, hey,
Yeah.
watch the fucking movie. And took off. And I was like, oh my God. And all my friends were like, you should have lied. You should have just lied. Been like, oh, it's been my
You
favorite movie
should have
since I was
definitely lied.
10. Like,
Yes.
I know. But I was like, I have to be honest here. Like, I'm trying to just like, I appreciate, I love the movie. Oh my, I've seen every Scream since. I've seen all the seasons.
Nice.
I love it. And I'm a true horror fan now. But like at the time, I was like, I don't know. I'm sorry. So it was a research thing, but we got it, and it was enough of a departure. Like in the series, we really tried to like honor but not copy, right? So like
Hmm.
even if you
Hmm.
look at all of our archetypes with me and Tom, we played Jake and Will together, the two
Yeah,
athletes. You couldn't really tell who was Skeet Ulrich and who was Matthew Lillard. You couldn't really, you know what I mean? We wanted
exactly.
to honor it without being like, I'm Matthew Lillard, I'm going to be this, and he's Skeet. Right? We didn't want to do that, so it was nice to just make it our own for sure. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And your character Will definitely gets bloody. And is it was it hard to get the blood off? I mean, Will's death was pretty brutal. So was it hard to get like all that blood off of you at the end of the day?
Yeah, it was. Period, man. It was. It took so Ashley Levy, who was our head makeup department on the show, who was a master at makeup and horror makeup and prosthetics. It took her 3 hours to get all the blood and the prosthetics and everything situated on me. So we got real close as she did that. It looked incredible. 3 hours in the chair every time, and then afterward, it was the best shower I've ever taken. Just like get it, the sticky and this off of me. Like it was the best. It was what a great day of work that was. Yeah.
Nice. So what's it like filming like a gory death scene? Like do they sit you down and say, all right, you're gonna be saturated in blood and you're gonna die this like brutal death? Like
Yeah. Well, so that my death was funny, and I love this. So Jill Bodevogel and Jesse. Oh shoot, I'm missing names. I'm getting better at my names. Joe Blodvogel called me, who was our showrunner, and said,
Hmm.
"We're gonna kill you. We don't know how yet." And I went, "Oh, okay, cool. Let me know if you need anything from me, whatever." So over the time from me learning that and actually shooting, they didn't know exactly how it was going to happen. They had different ideas. They were going to call
Oh
back to
my
the movie.
God.
Let's have the killer come in the window and stab you that way. And I was like, "That's cool. That's cool." And finally, at the end of the week, they were like, "Okay, we got it. We're going to split you right in half." And I went, "That's that's what we're doing. That's it." Yes. And so it was funny and great until I got to set and
Yeah.
saw the machine sitting
Yes.
directly above the chair that I was about to sit in. And I went, "So does somebody have the keys like away from the machine? Like what's going on here?" And they're like, "It's gonna be blue screen. We're gonna like do all the magic stuff." Just and I was like, "Okay." Okay. So
Probably
it was
sweating.
really, oh God, it was all real. You think that was acting? No, it was so much fun. We did it. It was great. I really didn't get blood on me until the after episode where I kind of appear to Emma. It was
Hmm.
episode 8 where I kind of come back. That was the thing that took 3 hours to like make me look all great. And yeah, that was a trip, man. That was awesome. Awesome.
It definitely sounds it, yes.
Yeah.
Like, was it true? Like, I remember reading about this when the series was out. Like, no one on the set actually knew who the killer was going to be, right?
Yeah, they didn't tell us anything. And we
Wow.
would say like, well, we think it's this person. And our showrunner Jill, who was writing it, was like, "Okay." We're like, "You seriously not gonna tell us? Like we can't." And she was like, "Nope." And so we all had scenes. We're like, "Wow, I might be the killer." That was a
Hmm.
really menacing scene. And then the rest of the episode would be like wonderful and nice. And then the next season, the next episode, Willa would have, who played Emma, would have a scene where you're like, "Okay, that's interesting." And then Carlson, who played, oh shoot, my name's again, but Carlson is her name, and she would have a scene where you're like, "She might be." It was all over the place, and we were trying to guess, and we couldn't figure it out. So it was a huge
Oh
surprise to us
wow.
as well. Yeah.
Wow. uh, I noticed like something like a pattern, like you said in Sharknado, and also with this, they never know how to kill you, and then when they do kill you, they give you one of the most brutal deaths like in the horror world.
Oh yes. No, my joke is, so probably 85% of the things I work on, I end up dead. That's just, people love to kill me. It's great. So I can't blame them if they're like, "You know what? I want to take my time. I want to see how this is all going to work out." I just appeared in a Netflix show called Obliterated that just dropped
Yes.
on Thursday. Yeah, and I get hit by a bus. And they knew that was coming from the start. So I give them credit. They're like, "No, no, no, we know how this is going to go. We're going to just mow you over." And I was like, "Boom, beautiful. Love it." So,
Oof.
yep, sign me up.
Damn. Killed by a shark, split in half, and hit by a bus. Man, out of the three of them, I don't know which one I would rather have happen if I had to choose one.
That's the true question. That's the true. If you had to choose, what would be the preferred choice?
Yeah, right,
Viewers,
exactly.
let's hear it. Yeah,
I
what do you
don't even
think?
know. They're all brutal.
So brutal. Woo.
So, which Scream film do you like best?
Great question. God, I have to go original.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
first one, the first one. Yeah, I love the original. Period.
Okay. And and how was it like playing Chad in Acapulco? Did I say that? I don't even know if I said that right.
You're good. Yeah, Acapulco. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
Okay.
dude, dream come true, man. I mean, it was like so much fun down. We shot in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico.
Oh,
I was there
sweet.
for like 12 days. Like the way they schedule worked out was like it was like a 12-day thing. So we were just me and his name is Owen Joyner, who played kind of the other main Chad with me,
Mhm.
and Court Overstreet. We were all down there just chilling for like 12 days, just playing ping pong, and then we'd
Oh
shoot and
my
play beer
God.
pong on set, and then we'd go
Yes.
have dinner, and yeah, it was just like a dream come true. It was so much fun. I had auditioned for the show Acapulco a few times leading up to that. There was
Oh,
a
okay.
few other characters that I would have fit throughout the first season. It wasn't quite right, but they kept throwing me auditions, and finally to get this one, it was just like, this is perfect. Like, set in the '80s. My pants were purple. What more could I want? And I didn't die. I
You
didn't
didn't
end up
die.
dead.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So you said you went out to dinner in Mexico. Like how was the food? Like what was your favorite thing to eat?
Question. So the food was is fantastic in Mexico. Everything from like the street tacos all the way up to the fine dining was just like
Nice.
whatever you
Nice.
want. It's fantastic. Yeah, we really enjoyed the cuisine down there. Yeah, it's great. Like beach cuisine, very like you got, it's not just tacos and burritos. It was like
Yeah.
there was seafood because you're on the coast, right? There was like
Yeah.
seafood and there was just mind blowing food down there. So fresh. Oh, it's great. So great.
Oh man. Damn, that makes me want to take a trip now. I think I'm gonna have to book a flight to Mexico.
So good. Oh my God. You won't be sorry. You won't be sorry. Yeah.
And so now we're gonna talk about the show where you get hit by a bus. so,
Mhm. Hit
so
it.
is there a scene? I mean, I don't know if the bus scene is the scene or not, but is there a scene of Dane that you had the most fun filming?
The whole scene was fantastic. I had a great scene partner. We really had a really good, strong connection while we were working together. Um, but we, the whole scene, I'm just plaster drunk. That's the scene. So, got a lot of fun just stumbling around and trying to chat and my I gotta say my favorite. So the shoot was great. We had a great time. It was just that one scene. Boom, hit by a bus. It was great. But the ADR, right? So for those of you who don't know what ADR is, it's where we go into a sound studio after it's done and fill in any sound that got missed, right? So I added some lines. I added a burp, like literally they had me belching, and I looked at it and I went, "That's not a very good burp. I can burp. Let's burp." We like burped into a microphone, like that's very classy acting work. And that was the most fun. And I'm sitting here just watching this ridiculous thing, and all the producers are taking it so serious. Yeah, that was an excellent burp. Good job, Connor. Like, And so I'm like, yeah. So it was equally as fun to like revisit it in post and get all the
Yeah.
sound perfect as it was to actually shoot it. It was great.
I mean, you gotta love being on sets on film. Like, only in film will someone give you a compliment on burping.
It's true, man. That's it. I mean, you said it. I'm in the right business. Yeah.
Right? Exactly. Yes.
uh,
and, and do you still like? I remember like the first time we talked, like you were exploring like making music. You were playing the guitar. Do you do you still like do songs yet?
no. I, you know what it is? I was still messing around with it last time we spoke. And
Mhm.
I'm so I'm like I'm a dad now. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I like there's no time to like play music anymore or write or anything. But I yeah, there's and when you're in this business, you kind of got to pick what you're working on. Are you going to be on TV? Are you going to be writing music? Like, what do you want to focus on? And I didn't have the energy to go both ways. I was just like, nope, I want to
Gotcha.
focus on film, want to focus on that. That's kind of where I set my focus. So yeah.
Okay. So, you're a very fun person, so you have to be a really fun dad. So how's being a dad like?
Uh, Thank you. It is the most wonderful challenge I've ever experienced, and all my parents, friends out there will agree. It is just amazing and wonderful to watch your children become who they're supposed to be. But God, I
Yes.
would love a full night's sleep. I'd love 5 minutes to sit by myself. This is wonderful, by the way. Just being able to not have a kid right here for 5 minutes. No, it is
Right?
it is the most rewarding, and you know what? It's rewarding because it's challenging. Let's phrase it that way. When you feel
Yeah.
like you've raised a decent kid, you're like, I feel accomplished because that was a lot of no night sleep and all that kind of stuff. So it's great. It's cool. And what I love is I think as our generation's kind of becoming parents. We're all getting
Yeah.
more realistic about it. We're not fibbing to everybody, being like, "Well, it's wonderful, and you should feel terrible if you don't feel it." We're all like, "Oh no, it's hard, but it's what we want. Let's get through it together." Like it's cool how we're all kind of being honest about it and just
That's
embracing
true.
it. So, yeah.
And, you know, between doing films and TV and being a dad, and you still look like you're in really good shape. So, what do you do to stay in shape?
Thank you. I made sure I had really good genetics. No, I listen, okay. Seriously though, uh, try to set time to work out, and sometimes it's literally 10 minutes of weights before bed, and then I crash out. Like when parents don't have time to like, you know
Yeah.
what, I'm gonna grab an hour. Like not until at least your kids are in school, and that doesn't happen for a good 5 or 6 years after they're born. So having a 3-year-old and a 4-month-old right now, it is like, man, I'm lucky if I get 5 minutes to just go lift up. So seriously, it's genetics are a part of it. I appreciate that. And I just try to, not if I start to notice the slide, I go, okay, just don't go to
Yeah.
bed. Don't you just make sure you get your workout and then get some sleep. It's tough, man. It's tough. So
So, pre having a kid, did you like gaming? Like, did you play video games?
yeah, no, you nailed that question. I have not touched a video game in years, but I used to love it. I was a huge Super Smash Brothers was my game. I love just
Nice.
playing Super Smash with friends. I sometimes grab. It's not entirely true. Sometimes I play with my brother a lot. We play like War Thunder. I'm a
Oh
big.
yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
like
Okay.
War Thunder's a good one for me. And then I'm an Assassin's Creed fan, so I like to when I'm in the mood
Nice.
for a story, I just go full Assassin's Creed. Yeah, man, I like a good story, so I like to follow
Oh
the
yeah.
campaign. I don't do multiplayer well. I'm not that good, but I can follow a campaign. I can enjoy myself, get my experience out of it. Go from there. Yeah.
Nice. And who's your favorite superhero and villain?
Oh, that's a great question. I've always liked Captain America as
Yeah,
my
nice.
my hero. Yeah, there's something so like wholesome about him, and
Yeah.
there's something about like how I always want to be seen as like a wholesome friend. Like a kid would go up to Captain America if he was lost. You know what I mean? Like that is something so cool about a hero. Um, whereas my favorite villain, I'm trying to think of an example, but my favorite villain is like the one that like kind of makes sense. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like what he's doing is what they're doing. He or she, what they're doing is evil. But like you're like, I mean, your explanation isn't exactly wrong, you know? So like, for example, the Joker is like
Yes.
such an interesting character to me because he's crazy and what he does is absolutely mind blowing. But like the things he says to Batman sometimes is like, you're not wrong. You're like punishing politicians who are like poisoning the city. You know what I mean? It's cool. And also, just I gotta shout this out. I did the shoot with Mike Mayhew, who's a really cool costume comic book artist. And I shot this thing with him where I got to play the Joker. So that was part of my love for
Oh,
him.
that's
Was I
so
like
awesome.
posed as the Joker for him. I'm just gonna find it real
Oh,
quick because I gotta just
nice.
shout him out and show you. But it's just so cool. He takes real life pictures of
Hmm.
actors and models and renders them into okay. So this is my face,
Oh
but
my
it
God,
is
really?
rendered into you can tell kind of the cheekbones
That
and
is
like it's rendered
sick.
into the Joker. And
That
then
is
but what
sick.
he it was dope. So what he was doing was kind of like early Joker stuff.
And
So
that's you
like
too?
that's me, like
Wow.
in like early crazy makeup, and then in the bathroom trying to get it out afterwards. But like, so we got to do this like kind of anthology photo series
Yeah.
as the Joker, and I was like, man, this is just such an interesting villain in my eyes. I don't know, maybe that makes me a psycho, but I'm just saying. Remember Captain America? I love Captain America.
Remember
Wholesome,
Captain America?
absolutely great, and then I also like that. So there you go.
And what about music? Like with what's on your playlist?
Man, if I tell you everything, would you believe me? I know that is a crazy. I'm not crazy. I know that's like a generic thing to say, but I listen to hip hop. I listen to country music. I listen to musical theater stuff. I listen to indie. I
Okay.
listen to. I literally, I've got a song for every occasion. If I'm wanting to look out the window while driving, all like whimsical, I got a song for that. If I want to be, you know what I mean? I got a song for everything. So seriously,
Well, you know how Spotify does like the end of the year stuff. So who was your like most listened to artist?
oh man, I don't really do the end of the year Spotify thing, but I have to say right now, I was on a little bit of a country kick, so there was a little Morgan
Okay.
Wallen was up there high. I really, yeah, like Luke Combs, Morgan Wallen, and also just like old school '90s. I was listening to a lot of Boys to Men
Nice.
for
Nice.
a while.
Nice.
When I say I listen to everything, I'm serious. There was like some Chris Brown early 2000s in there, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whitney Houston from the 80s. Like, dude,
Yes.
I like good like when I can tell a singer is good. I know that's no dub. Why would you listen to a bad singer? But like when they're just ungodly good, like the
Uh-huh.
Whitney Houston, the Jennifer Hudson, I mean, even
Yes.
Aretha. I go back to Aretha Franklin all the time. Like these iconic people who are like, I wish I could sing like that. Oh my god, like just insane. So literally all over the place. Yeah, yeah.
So, what's your go-to karaoke song?
It depends on where I am. If I'm, yeah, no, I know what it is. I can rap California Love. Tupac and
Whoa.
Dr. Dre. So pretty much from
Oh,
memory.
okay.
So I pulled that out, and a lot of people were like, "This white boy can rap? Like what?" So it's a crowd pleaser for sure. Yeah.
There you go. Nice. Nice. So, what are some horror films you like watching?
Mm. So my favorite horror films are actually more of the thriller variety.
Okay.
So I
Okay. Yeah.
really love Sixth Sense, right?
Yes.
Bruce Willis, like love it, and Signs, Mel Gibson.
Science was really good. Yeah.
I just those thriller like you scare me with I don't know what's gonna happen and I'm like freaking out right now. That's what gets me. It's so just I can watch them over and over. It's great.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
And I know you're big into the bullying and anti-bullying, and so like how do you like if anyone is getting bullied and
Mhm.
whether you're a kid or a teenager or a grown up, like what kind of ad advice would you give them for to with bullying?
Yeah. Thank you for asking this question. I love talking about this as much as possible.
Mm,
Because even though I was very lucky, I didn't have serious bullying happen to me growing up. But I experienced everybody experiences a little bit. Obviously, everybody does. But the main thing that worked for me was don't give them any power. And this takes a lot of like self confidence and a lot of courage on your own part, which sometimes in life we have it, sometimes we don't. But the bully is just looking for attention, and that's what I look at. Okay, everybody wants attention in life. That's how we human beings work,
that's
right?
true.
So whether we get it from friends or from a spouse or from kids, like we all need attention in some way. Sometimes we need more. Some people are desperate for it. The way I finally saw bullies, they don't get attention they need from their family, from this and that. So they're looking for the most direct and childish way to get attention, which is to bully you to
Mhm.
get a response. And they got their attention. So as soon as you take the attention away and you're like, cool, man, like, and you walk away or just like make it fall flat, they
Yeah,
stop. It's
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's hard to do because bullies are very good at getting into your worst
Oh
possible
my
things.
God,
So
yes.
it's really, really hard. But if you can just see those people as just lost people, they're not cooler than you, they're not better than you. If they're bigger and stronger than you and they're physically attacking you, like that's a whole different thing entirely. And I makes I don't know how to fix that. I just want to fix it for everybody myself. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, I know,
um,
exactly.
it's just how to confidently with yourself, remove yourself from the situation and get help. I think a lot of people want to go at it alone. And the strongest way you can get rid of it is whether it's just finding your bigger friend or finding an adult or finding somebody who can help you. Yeah, it's embarrassing, but for like 5 minutes and then it's over. Like
Yeah.
don't let one person control your life so much that you feel like you're down and depressed and nothing when it's one person. Find people who love you, find help. Don't be too
Mhm.
strong or too what's the word? Too like whatever to get help. People are here to help you. We're here to help.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's what I'd say. Find the people who love you, get some help, get yourself out of that situation. Um and just find the love. Find the people who want to love you. That's the best way I can do it. When I got bullied at school, because I sang really high pitched for a long time. I was in choir and I was an alto. I was singing very high, and everybody was
Okay.
like, "What are you gay? What are you gay? Like
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
so
yeah.
gay, whatever." So I was like, "No, I just like to sing, like whatever."
Yeah.
Went and found theater. I went. That's when I went and found theater because I went. Well, sports is really dumb. People don't accept you, but in theater, they're like, let's go. You have a great voice. And it was like, there we go. So as soon as you find the people who accept you, it's a whole new world. Right. So, and that's what I want to say to like middle schoolers and high schoolers, especially. It gets better after high school. We all
Hmm.
think in that thing. We're like, but this is my life. This is it. And I just wish I could shake everybody lovingly and say, after high school, it doesn't matter. Everybody figures out life eventually. Please don't let
Oh
this
yeah,
4 year chunk define you, you know? So
exactly.
that's it. Yeah. And I've reconnected with people from high school who were rough, you know what I
Oh
mean? And
really?
you give it some time and we never talked about it. There's no, there's no reason to if you're good and if they're
Well, yeah,
and you're like,
exactly.
wow, what a different yeah, and you're like, they're a different person. They were a child when all this was happening. And that's where it's childish behavior because part of them is missing something in their childhood. You know what I mean? I could keep going about that, but that's the bottom line I say is find the people who love you. Please ask for some help. Everybody wants to help each other out. That's it.
Wow. That's great. I love that. Like that was real. That was really great what you said. Yeah, definitely,
Thanks.
definitely.
Yeah.
And is there anything coming up for you? Do you want to plug like any TV, film, anything you're allowed to talk about? I don't want to
Sure.
get you in trouble.
No. You're good. Thank you. Um, no, I was so excited that this Obliterated show with Netflix this timed out so well. The strike ended just in time that I was able to promote it and we were able to see it. I did before the strike shoot a movie with Tyler Perry at his own
Oh,
personal
sweet.
Tyler Perry Studios down in Atlanta. Really cool project alongside Kelly Rowland,
Oh my
who was
God,
on
get
Destiny's
out.
Child. Yeah, she's an actress now. She's
Yes.
fantastic. Looks fantastic. Is a great actress. And I play her assistant in a movie.
Nice.
I don't think we have a release date yet. I think the strike maybe pushed it back, and Mr. Perry, Mr. Tyler Perry, is figuring some things out. But that's going to be the next thing you'll see me, and it'll be on Netflix as well. It was a really great experience. Yeah.
Oh man. Look at look at you over here. You're on set with Tyler Perry and Kelly and okay, okay.
it's it's just it comes out of nowhere, man. This business, and I'm sure you see it too. You're like, I have no idea how now you're shooting video. You
Yeah,
kidding me? You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Like it just grows and comes out of nowhere in left field, and it's great. Yeah,
It is. It is. It's a fun thing to be in. It like definitely is. Like if you have passion for it, if you love it, like it's definitely fun to be in. Even if you don't make enough off of it or don't make a living off of it, it's still fun to be in it.
it is, and I just keep at it. You know, we've all been there. I mean, listen, actors are notorious. I'm on Netflix one day. I'm bartending at a restaurant the next day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
there's a lot of which no shade to bartenders, man. It's a great profession, honestly. So it's just the ups and downs and just trying to figure out where you land. But if you're passionate about it, we just got to keep at it. We just
Oh
got
my
to keep
God,
at it.
yes. Yeah, definitely.
That's
Okay, well,
it.
since you brought it up now, what's your favorite drink and like what's your favorite drink to make?
Yeah, good question. Well, I was sipping on some Bullet bourbon throughout our
Ooh,
hangout
all
here. Yeah,
right,
that's my
all
favorite.
right,
I
nice.
and I like old fashions. Have you had an old fashioned
Yeah, of
before?
course, of course.
Now, just traditional, right? Where there's no, it's just the booze and the bitters and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's that's my favorite drink for sure. And I make a good one too. So it's yeah.
Oh,
What
so
about you?
it
Favorite drink?
my favorite is Jack and Coke.
Yeah,
I
I,
love
you
Jack and Coke.
you can't beat that. That's like
No, it's so
yeah.
good. Like the Coke mixes so perfectly with Jack. Like
I know.
I know, doesn't it though? And it tastes so good, like going down. But I only tend to drink a couple of those because it's still soda and it has a lot of sugar in it. So I only do like a couple of them. Then I'll go to like Miller Lite or High Life where there's like no calories and
It's smart, honestly, and because Jack and Coke go down so fast, and you're like,
I
oh, I gotta
know,
drive.
really they
Um,
do.
yeah. Where do you live? Where are you chiming in
Philly,
from?
Philly.
You're in Philly. Cool, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah,
How about you?
that's great. So I it's kind of the first time I'm saying this publicly, but my family and I are back in Wisconsin right now.
Oh, sweet.
Um, yeah, we're by grandparents to raise children. That's where we are. But I'm a local Chicago as well. I'm very close to Chicago.
Okay.
And I'm in LA quite a bit as well. So just we're talking on Zoom right now. That's the same way we do
Yeah.
business. We're able to be all over the place. And let me tell you, man, Wisconsin is like crazy when it comes to drinks. Like
Oh,
Jack and
get
Cokes
out,
all
really?
day. But then if you got to drive, you better switch to Miller. You know what I'm saying? Like we we know how to throw down up here, man. It's dope. It's really nice.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, that's what I do. Like I'll have like two or three Jack and Cokes, and then I switch to like Miller High Life or Miller Light or what and I'm like, all right, now I have to knock the sugar out of me.
That's it. Give it an hour. It'll be gone. No worries. I love it, man.
So and Wisconsin, like I they got good cheese, right? Isn't that like the cheese thing? And
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got some of the best cheese. Hands down. There's no argument. Sorry. No argument there. We cheese curd, cheese, dairy, anything dairy, best. Hands down.
okay, so all that's true. Like there, any cheese you get there, any cheese flavored stuff you get there is all good, right?
And yeah, you know what the secret is? I'll tell you straight up, man. We have some of the best dairy cows up here, and that's where all the cheese it's full fat. We don't skimp you with skim milk. No, you get full fat cheese. That's why it's so good. We're
Okay,
not messing around. Yeah, we're not messing around. Have you had custard? Have you had custard before?
not from there, but yes,
Okay, right. So custard is like full fat ice cream, and we
yeah.
love it up here. Yeah, it is next level. So,
Nice, nice. Oh man, that sounds so good. Ah. And Philly, of course, is known for cheese steaks.
I love your cheesesteaks. You get that. I'm not fighting with that. That's yours. That was so good out there. I've been to Philly only once, and I'm dying to
Oh,
get back.
really?
I really dug Philly. Yeah,
Did you have a cheesesteak while you were in Philly?
of course. I couldn't
Okay,
tell you
no,
where I
no,
got it.
I had to
It
ask.
was such yeah, of course. No, I couldn't tell you where I got it from because it was such a fast trip. I don't even remember. But the
Yeah.
first thing I did, I was like, all right, so I got to see what this is about. And it was like, all right, I see it. It was so good.
Okay. Okay.
Oh
Well,
God.
if you ever come back to Philly, I have to. I'll show you like the really good spots for the cheesesteaks. It's usually like the hole in the wall spots that have like the best ones.
I'm down. Let's go. Jack and Cokes and Philly
Jack and Coke
cheesesteaks.
and
Let's go.
cheesesteak.
Take me out.
Yes. Yes,
Let's go.
definitely,
Take me
definitely.
out. I love it.
Okay. And the last thing I'll ask you is where can fans follow you at?
Yeah, find me on Instagram. It's at Connor Weil, just my name as you see it spelled. And I'm old school. That's the only place that I kind of hang out. No Snapchat, no TikTok yet, but Instagram is foolproof. You got something you want to reach out, you want to comment, you want to reach out, and messages. I'm usually pretty good at getting back. So feel free to reach out, say hello. I'll be there.
Awesome, buddy. Well, thank you
Mhm.
so much for doing this. It was really fun chat, and like you're really awesome. You're fun to chat with and funny, and it was really great. I loved it. Thanks.
Thank you so much. You're such a pleasure, and I'm so glad no emails. We actually got to see each other and chat.
I
It was great.
know.
Ah, love it.
And
Awesome.
when you're in Philly, Jack and Coke and cheesesteaks, you know.
It's on the list. It's already on the list. I'm already looking forward to it, man. Thank you in advance.
Okay, here we go.
uh, uh, real pleasure, dog. Thank you so much.
Definitely. We'll definitely have a great night and have fun with the rest of your night. And thank you again.
Back at you, man. Thank you. Watch out for Chucky behind you. We'll see you next
Okay,
time. See you, dude.
bye.
Later.
Later.